Hey, welcome back to another episode of Manga Talks. So today, there was a couple of different updates that I saw in terms of the manga world. So the first one that I wanted to bring up is this one here. This is a book that is titled, I think, The Lion's Neck. Is that neck or sound? I think Lion's Neck by Noroi Michiru. So the reason why I wanted to pull this out was because recently I saw on Starfruit Books and their socials that they've shown off a printer or proof copy of the English edition of Noroi Michiru's works. So I think it's titled just The Horror of Noroi Michiru. So that has been in production for quite a while now. I did hear of it like about a year or maybe two ago. And so that got me excited again for Noroi Michiru because this specific work I haven't read at all. I've kind of just been waiting for the English release to come out, but this is just an example of the stuff that Noroi Michiru does, just some great horror. So can't wait for that. I will link that post in the description. They do a brief flick through of the printer copy that they have. I have no idea what specific stories will be included in there, whether this will be it will have these stories or not, but Noroi Michiru has done a lot of stuff, especially self-published works, so you can find a lot of his stuff on like Mandarake. But yeah, pretty excited to finally have some Noroi Michiru. We've been very lucky to have all these cool horror manga releases in English, so Noroi Michiru is just another cool addition to that collection that will soon be building on top of the the Living the Line stuff. That's really excited for the Ichiro, I believe the name was Ijima Ichiro, and of course One Tentaro's Face Meat. That's insane. I still actually haven't bought Mansect. I will buy Mansect soon at a later date. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because Noroi Michiru is someone who I've always seen their works of just in stores and posts, but I've never really dived into. I mean, I haven't touched horror manga in quite a while because it's just something I come back to when I have the drive to and when I feel like it. But as of right now, I don't feel like it at the moment. But maybe when it pops up and is up to order, I can finally get back into the genre of manga. So yeah, so that was like the first update that I wanted to talk about. These books I'll show through a bit later, but the second update, which is a big one for me and it's more related to anime, is JOJO. So this is JOJOVELLER, the gigantic art book, featuring artwork from pretty much every part up to part 8. What's really cool here, we have like a map, but every street is either a stand name or a character name. And recently, let's see if this shine goes through. Oh, yep, pretty shiny. So JOJO 25th anniversary. This comes in a pretty big box as well, but I'll just be flicking through this. Just want to check if you'll see that correctly. It's a really big book, so I don't even know if I can fit it properly. But yeah, so the part 7 adaptation, so part 7 Steelball Run, they recently announced that it is in production, and they put out a visual for it, which I'm very, very excited about. Part 7 out of everything is my favorite part, I would say. And so yeah, I kind of just wanted to talk about JOJO because they didn't announce a date. Actually, it was just saying that it was in production, so I'm not really expecting it to come out in the next we'll give a couple years, but that's fine, especially for Steel Ball Run, where they've got everyone's on horses. I've heard that horses are one of the hardest things to animate. Take their time. I'm happy for them to just take as much time as they need to animate it because I'm not in a rush to see it. I just would prefer if it came out with a good product that took years and years to do rather than something that was rushed. And yeah, so Steel Ball Run, out of all the parts, I would say is my favorite. It's got the coolest premise, the coolest setting, the story, and some of the coolest stands as well. Because coming in at second, I would probably say would be JoJolion was my second favorite, despite some of the plots plot lines towards the end of it. But I'll just explain with part 7. We're pretty much set in, it's after part 6, so spoilers kind of. After part 6, there's a sort of different universe where everything is not set in the same universe that parts 1 to 6 was. So we're kind of set in an alternate universe where we're in like I don't know what year it was, but America, and there's this race across America on horse, and our main JoJo, his name is Johnny Joestar, and he's the Joe Bro that we have is Gyro Zeppeli, and so they go across America on horse to find specific pieces, which I won't spoil too much. So there's a mission going on, and I won't spoil the antagonist either. But Steel Ball Run is just such a, for me, especially Johnny's stand, which is Tusk. Tusk all the way in all its different forms is one of the coolest stands, and it's also got my favorite color combination, blue and pink as well. So yeah, I would say on top of that, the antagonist of Steel Ball Run is also probably one of my favorite antagonists as well, especially their stand too, which has a similar color scheme to Johnny's Tusk. So very excited for it, but again, it's not, there's no specific date that has been announced, so I'm not really like, I think for me it's just better to forget about something, because otherwise if I've got the hype of just waiting for the part 7 anime to come out, it's gonna tire me out. I don't want to just be thinking about it years and years. I'll just forget about it, and then when it pops up, I'll be hyped again. But yeah, so part 7's, I think some of the favorite stands that I have from part 7 would be, of course, D4C. You've got Johnny's stand as well. Catch the Rainbow was really cool. Tattoo for You was cool. Tubular Bells, that was sick. Mandem, there's just so many cool ones where it's very, compared to the stands from part 6 and before, every part for me has just been going even better in terms of stands. They're cooler, they're better designs, the powers are more complex and weird and unique. But in part 6, yes, they had a good amount of stands that really popped out. But in part 7, everything just felt so new, especially, you know, accompanied by the fact that we were in an alternate universe as well. But yeah, here we've got Gyro with his ball breaker. So we're just in the part 7 stage of this art book, but this is also a really cool art book. It's a hardcover, very premium. It was expensive, but this was a reprint of the original one, because the original one, if you want to find that first print, it comes in like a different box. It is so expensive. I've seen it for like 200 plus bucks. But a lot of these are the Steel Ball Run cover arts from the Tankobon volume, which I do have a couple of them. And in terms of cover art in general, I would say my favorite cover art in all of JoJo would be JoJolian ones. I do like Steel Ball Run, but there's just something about the JoJolian cover art that really feels like everything harmonizes, everything feels like the subject of the actual art and the colors used and the poses, all of them just work so well in JoJolian. And coming to JoJolian, actually, despite it not being my favorite JoJo part, it is the coolest in terms of stands, I would say. All the stands there, they kind of just are even better than the stands in part 7. And especially with how weird JoJolian is. Steel Ball Run is more straightforward, but in JoJolian is 100% more weird in terms of stand powers and plots as well. This is what I'm talking about, D4C, the pink and blue. I do have this Tankobon as well, but yeah, in part 8, like, what was it called? Paper Moon King is one of my favorite stands in that. It can like cause hallucinations where if it like touches a subject, they can see things differently, so it's reality bending. Josuke's stand, the protagonist of part 8, his one, what was it called? Oh man, Soft and Wet. Such a unique name, but I love it. The design as well reminds me of just like Ultraman, or like that sort of world of monster character designs, which are really cool too. But in part 8, I think my issue was just the plot, especially towards the end. Everything felt like it was a bit too rushed. It was wrapped up a bit too nicely, and we didn't really get any explanations as to why, Josuke's stand did that thing. I'm trying to not spoil it too much. But yeah, now we're on to part 8. Part 9. Part 9, again, I've talked about previously, haven't touched upon too much, but I love the fact that part 9's protagonist his name is JOJO. That is not something that Araki didn't do by accident. That's got to serve some sort of purpose. I don't know if that purpose is evident right now in the story, but JOJO is such a delinquent. It's set in Hawaii, so JOJO Lands Part 9 is set in Hawaii. We follow JOJO and his, I think, sibling, Dragona, as well, and they're wrapped up in this sort of drug, like, thing. Like, it's like a gang. They're involved with the gang. And it's funny because JOJO is only like, 15 years old? So out of all of the other JOJOs, he's the most, like, delinquent out of them, even compared to like Giorno from part 5. It feels even more unhinged as from what I've seen so far, but his stand is really sick as well. November Rain, such a cool name for that. As of right now, I don't know what the powers are of November Rain in its full capacity, but that's a cool thing to look forward to as well. But yeah, just wanted to talk about JOJO because of that Steel Ball Run anime announcement. Kind of sad that part 6 didn't get the hype it deserved because Jolene is one of my favorite JOJOs out of all the parts. She's amazing. Her stand is really cool as well. And also this section as well, it's not JOJO related, but it's just other, I think this is like separate cover art that Araki has done, maybe like spin-off. Yeah, this is don't remember the name, Deadman spin-off. This is Rohan Kishibe at the Louvre, so just some extra stuff. And we've got an Araki and Gucci collab section at the back, which is insane. We don't have anything else like JOJO in current time, so it's just a treasure of a series to read. Even though some parts may not be as great as others, I think the entire existence of JOJO is so important in the manga and anime world. And yeah, so I'm just very hyped. I started JOJO when I would say in 2019, so not that long ago actually. Well, 6 years is kind of long, but this section we've got like just a index full stuff, and here we go. JOJOVELLER reprint 2023. So I guess that's when I bought it. And then yeah, we've got I know these were sold as separate posters as a part of the exhibition. So we've got all the JOJOs here, and then all of the villains. And one thing that a lot of people will talk about as well is how now in Araki's new art style, so Jonathan and Joseph are hard to tell apart. I think this is Joseph and that's Jonathan, pretty sure. But yeah, they look completely different, and the art style also is very different too. But I love the art style of parts 1 to 3 in the manga back when it was made, because it was really nostalgic. I really love that too. It was very detailed. But I love everything that's Araki's done so far. We've got Jotaro at the end, and then another little map. And yeah, so the JOJOVELLER box not only came with this, it came with this is the main thing, but it came with a stands book and a history book too. So if you're looking for extra content like that, that's there for you. So yeah, this is JOJOVELLER, just an amazing premium book, very heavy. But let me put this away first. Okay, and the other two books that I had today, I intended for this to be a short one, but I just wanted to talk about, or bring this back up because I haven't read it in a while. This is a manga that's titled Tasogare ni mani a eba by Akai Sashimi, I believe, and it's really cool because it's in hardcover. It's a small one, but all of this is in color, and pretty much they're just nice, wholesome, and funny shorts about these like supernatural creatures, yokai, monsters, animals just living their life. And I very much love the art style of Sashimi. It's just very cute and wholesome, and I just wanted to revisit this because it's been a while since I've read something like this. You know, it's good to sort of have a break in between all the heavy gekiga and seinen stuff. It's nice to just relax with something like this. And the fact that it's all in color and it wasn't that expensive makes it even better. I'm not sure if they have, whoops, oh, postcard just fell out. Not sure if they have released any tankopon since, but we'll definitely pick it up if they do. And we've got a little section as well where it's just all this art and then some black and white stuff. Yeah, I'm just sort of trying to mix up my reading so that I don't get bored of anything. And we've got a little illustration gallery at the back. Yeah, great stuff from Akai Sashimi. Just wanted to revisit that because it's been a while, and these videos are a really great way for me to do so. And the last book that I want to show off here was, I think the last time I showed this off was early on in the Weird and Wild video that I did. My name is Raisin Rum by Family Restaurant. So Family Restaurant is the name is just for this guy he does manga, but he also does sculptures as well, and it sort of combines it into his works. And he has released picture books as well, because as far as I knew, Raisin Rum was the only manga that he had out. And Japan Book Hunter, I believe, has some signed copies of those picture books out. So if you love this sort of like heta-uma feel and just very chaotic manga that's weird as hell, check that out. I don't know if I will buy his picture books as of yet, because I do have some other stuff, and I do have a couple of other picture books that I still haven't read, which I've shown off, but I really need to get onto those because like a couple months ago, or maybe a year ago now, I've had an obsession with picture books, although I still haven't read any of them. The other picture book that I did read was a Natsujike Miyazaki one, which she drew the art for. She didn't make the story. The story was done by someone else. But yeah, maybe I will pick up their picture book after I read the current ones that I have. There's 2 of them. And another picture book that I'd probably pick up in the future would be Junji Ito. He had released a picture book too. It's got like all these faces on it. I don't remember the name of it. But yeah, this story was weird. It was about Raisin Rum just going to hell and saving this baby, I guess. It's a wild story, but this was serialized in acts as well, so it makes sense, you know. And the copy that I have specifically is also signed. So this was back in 2020. This is Raisin Rum, and towards the end, here it is. This is Family Restaurant, and this is like an example of sculpture and his family over there as well. So quite wholesome stuff, and it's very unique in the world of manga to have this mixture of sculptures. I think they're like paper mache type things. They look very like fragile. Combining that with manga like this, especially with heta-uma as well. It's so chaotic. So much ink everywhere, but it's very nice combination of different textures throughout the entire book. But yeah, that was a nice flip through and reminiscing of Raisin Rum. It's I think the Weird and Wild video is one of my most viewed videos, which in that video I showed this off, I showed Tani Hiroji off, probably showed some other stuff which I don't remember now, but yeah, it seemed that people liked that sort of thing, especially, you know, just the weird stuff, so that was cool. But yeah, so that was today's video. Most of it was the JOJO showcase because, you know, I love JOJO and I don't get to talk about it often. But yeah, so hope you guys have enjoyed this video. We'll be back with another one sometime soon. Have a nice day. Bye.